What's up, guys? Joshua Little here with Bearded Beast Fishing, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about purchasing a scale and getting it certified and some of the steps that you have to take to do that if you are out looking to try to break some body of water records and things like that. So stay tuned and we're going to go over everything that you need to know. Alright guys, so I'm going to talk to you a minute about the scale that I purchased, the reason I purchased that scale, and the steps that I had to go through as far as getting it certified. Now, the scale that I purchased is actually a Chatillon N25. This is what the scale looks like. It is a mechanical scale, and when you look at the link that I will provide that'll show the scale itself, you will see that it is listed on there that IGFA recognizes it as being a scale that can be used for weighing fish. The stamp that is actually on the scale itself is the stamp that is put on there by the Georgia Department of Agriculture after they verify it and certify that the scale is up to date. Now, this actually shows the month and the year that the scale was certified, and you have to have that scale certified every year by the Georgia Department of Agriculture for GON or even the state to recognize any fish that you may believe is the new body of water record or a state record. Now, with this being a mechanical scale, the reason that I wanted to go with a mechanical scale is because I feel that it's a lot more reliable than some of your digital scales. And then also, as you can see on here, it's got kilograms, and then it also has your pounds, and each of those lines are 4-ounce increments. So as you look at this, you can kind of get a good idea on what the scale looks like. It's very small, it's compact. The process that I had to do is once I purchased the scale and it came in, it is not certified. You have to call the Georgia Department of Agriculture, set up a time for them to come out, look at your scale. There is no cost for them to do that. And one of the things that IGFA lists on there is that for the scale to be certified, and then also for everyone to recognize that it is properly scaled, is that when it is being certified, that it has to be on a stationary platform, or that it has to be on something like an A-frame or something like that that is not moving. What I actually used are these bars that you see above me, and I strapped the scale to it so that way when they were doing the certification, they come out, they can make sure that it's zeroed. They take a bucket and they start putting the weights inside of the bucket to make sure that each one of your 4-ounce lines and then also your poundage meets exactly what it states on here. Now, if it does not pass, then of course you're not going to have it. You're not going to have this on here. This is where they actually say, hey, look, we've approved this for accuracy. It is certified. They're the ones that actually put this on there. They're not going to give it to you and let you put it on there. That's something that they're going to put on there. And then they're going to email you a sheet that has the entire information on the scale. It has whether or not it passed or failed. It's going to have the date, timestamp, everything on there, showing that your scales are certified by the Department of Agriculture, and then it's also going to have the contact information for the person that certified the scale. Now, the biggest thing that I can tell you is make sure you hold on to that, because very much like with the scale itself and the stamp, it doesn't mean anything unless you have the paperwork to back it up. So when we recently went down to the Hooch, we caught a fish we believed it was the new body of water record. We had to get out on stationary, or we had to get out of the kayaks, had to get up on land. We had to make sure that the scale was on a fixed mounted item or structure to make sure that you could get the proper reading from the scale itself. And then you have to take pictures of the scale as far as being stationary mounted. You have to have pictures of the fish on the scale. And the reason they want all of that is to show that you are doing it properly the way that you're supposed to. Some of the things they also call for is pictures with you and the fish so that it showing that this is your fish, you've caught the fish, but then also they like to have witnesses, and that's part of the process on GON that you will see, is that they call out for 2 witnesses that are not related to you, or that you are not in a sense of like you're good friends or close friends or things like that. And the purpose behind that is they want to make sure that what you are doing is legitimate, no questions. That's just the process. So very rarely will you be out on a body of water, catch a fish, and then no one be on the same body of water that you're on. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but if there's a house close by, if you go to the docks, if you're from a kayak, of course, it's a little bit harder to travel with a fish unless you have a live well on your kayak. If you're in a bass boat, of course, you're going to have a live well, and you can go to a boat ramp, get other people to look at it and be a witness as you are scaling it. And then also during that process, when you have them there, you need to get their name and then also a contact number, and let them know that someone from GON will be reaching out to them to make sure that the fish you caught is correct. The names that you have provided, those were witnesses to the catch for the fish. Now, if you do not want to purchase a scale, and this scale right here was roughly about $90. If you don't want to spend the money on the scale, what you can do is find your closest Tractor Supply or a pawn shop that sells gold. Some of your, mine just went blank. Some of your stores, like your grocery stores, certain ones are going to have, like your produce stores are going to have certified scales. And the Department of Agriculture are the ones that actually go out and like certify all of these scales every single year. It can't just be any pawn shop. It has to be a pawn shop that sells gold, because their scales have to be certified, of course, for weighing out the gold and things like that. Tractor Supply is another great one. You've got them everywhere. And then some of your bait stores are actually going to have certified scales as well. Now, kind of the same process, but the difference would be at that point you would take the fish with you, go have it certified at one of those locations, and then of course there will be people there that you can give their contact information to GON. When you catch the fish and you believe that it is the new body of water or a state record, you would call GON directly and ask to speak to anyone that is part of the certification for a body of water record, or you can just ask for an editor, and they're going to provide you with the information that you need. So when you talk to them, they're going to ask for all of the pictures. They're going to ask for pictures of your certification stamp, of the scale itself, video as well. So you need to have as much information as you physically can to provide them. And then they're also going to ask for the sections of the water that you were in, or the body of water if it's a lake that you're fishing in, the type of fish, and then what it's scaled at, and then pictures of it showing that it was scaled, contact information, and then also the paperwork that the Department of Agriculture emails you that I was talking to you about. You need to send that to them as well. The full purpose of that is to make sure that everything is legitimate and there's no questions to be asked. And at that point, you're 100% covered. You've done your due diligence to make sure that you have all the information, all the videos, you've got all the contact information, and you can provide that to GON. Now, when you call GON and you provide them with the information, it will take them a couple of weeks to get everything that they need all together and listed up on their site. But that's kind of the steps that they take, and the steps that you have to take to make sure that you have everything completed to send it into GON. Now, your state records pretty much follow along the same guidelines, but of course you've got DNR that you can reach out to as well. And that's one of the other things that you could do, is you could actually reach out to DNR to see if anyone is close by that has certified scales as well. Now, if you're wanting to take the fish with you, of course you can do that, or if you want to get a replica made, you can do that as well. With a replica, you want to make sure to take pictures of both the left and right side of the fish. You want to get the girth of the fish, the length of the fish, any measurement that you can actually take to get the best replica made if you're wanting to do that. Some will actually take the fish itself and have it have it mounted, and once again, that's just up to you. So these are the steps that you have to take to make sure that your scales are certified and that it is done yearly. I'm going to provide a link of where I purchased the scale from. I will provide a link to GON as far as a contact, so you know where to call. And then also I will provide the information of the Department of Agriculture on how you need to get that set up. Now, if at any time you've got any questions on any of these steps or the things that you have to do, feel free to hit me up on Facebook, or you can put your comments below asking any questions, and I will help you out any way that I can. And feel free to call me with anything. Doesn't matter at all. Whatever you've got questions for, make sure to let me know, and we will help you get your fish certified and make sure you go through the process correctly and that you've got everything that you need. So thank you guys for watching the video, and we will catch you on the water.